A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of our principal, Dr. Sister Rosie Joseph, the management and the faculty of the Department of Commerce shift to Stella Maris College, it is my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to this webinar, Thought Leadership on MSME Reforms. Owing to the present situation and the number of rapid changes that are happening around us, reforms that are taking place in the micro, small, and medium scale enterprises are large and impactful. Keeping this in mind, we decided to go with this as the theme for our webinar. I extend my sincere gratitude and welcome our resource person, Mr. Satya Kumar, Chief Strategist, Tycoon Plus Advisors Private Limited. Let us begin today's webinar by invoking God's blessings. God, our loving Father, we praise and thank you for giving us this new day. We thank you for all the blessings you have given us. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to come together. During these uncertain times, we pray for your protection over each one of us and our families. We pray that this session may be fruitful to all who partake in it. Amen. I would now like to introduce our speaker for today. Mr. Satya Kumar has many qualifications to his credit, such as LLB, CIMA, CGMA, ACS, just to name a few. He is consulted by the Prime Minister Leadership Team for Transforming India. He also represents significant matters to the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of Law, Government of India. Mr. Satya Kumar is involved in various nation-building activities, such as conducting sessions on a multitude of topics, ranging from spirituality to education. Sir is also the founding member of the Swami Vivekananda School of Public Policy, which is an Indian youth think tank mentored by experts. In terms of his career, Sir is a practicing chartered accountant. He advises developmental reforms in key areas. He is often revered as the modern Chanakya by prominent governance leaders and politicians for ideas for MSME transformations and is also an advisory member of the same. A man of exceptional caliber with many accomplishments to his credit, we are delighted, sir, to host this webinar with you. So that being said, over to you, Mr. Satya Kumar.
It's a great pleasure to interact. It's always a great pleasure to meet the professors of Stella Maris College and the great alumni of Stella Maris Institution. Apart from that, there are invited guests and professors from various institutions. It is a great pleasure to meet you all, and I'm very happy to interact with you on the thought leadership on MSME. In fact, whenever I visited Stella Maris College, and Stella Maris College always invited me to speak on various aspects of business and various aspects of technology transformation to the students. I always enjoy talking to the students, and the level of question the student asked. Always, when I spoke about MSME, there used to be questions from the students how the government is planning to formalize. In fact, you would have read your economics book. You would have written economic examinations. You could be an economics graduate, and many people would have pursued your economics course from a great institution. One thing that many people don't know in India is the economic fundamentals of India is driven by MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises. In fact, when I was working in KPMG, one of the large multinational organization, multinational accounting firm, I always thought only multinational companies and large corporates account for India's GDP. But my understanding changed post when I came to venture out my own when I started my own venture. When I started my own venture, Tycoon Plus Advisors, and I have a chartered accountancy coaching institute called Tycoon Academy, where when I started doing research, when I started becoming a teacher, then I went on to do some research to inspire the students. When I did a research, then I found, and I did a field study also. So weekends I used to go to Namakkal, Tiruchengodu, Sangagiri, down to Rajkot, taking a morning flight, going and addressing a small MSME entrepreneurs and then large corporates there. So because parallelly my chartered accountancy CA classes and also the consulting I was building in. At that time, I realized it is actually the MSMEs which creates the MSMEs which are driving the entire nation. In fact, we will be astonished to know 93.5% of employment opportunity in the country is created by micro, small, and medium enterprises. It is created by micro, small, and medium enterprises. And it is a very surprising fact. This 93.5% employment opportunity creation is mostly informal. In fact, if you read a book called India Unning, you will understand that it is a research done by an IIM professor. It's a research done by an IIM professor, IIM Bangalore professor, and based on that research report, I found that 93.5% of employment opportunity is created by the micro, small, and medium enterprises. When I say micro, small, and medium enterprises, next the question that comes in your mind: what happens to the cottage industry? Including the cottage industry, 93.5% of employment opportunities created. So, whereas the big boys, big corporates, MNCs and large corporates create 7% of employment opportunity in our country. But if you see the taxation angle also, then I went on to research. When I had interaction in all these places, I did a research about the taxation portfolio, tax payment portfolio of different set of enterprises. So then I found that MSMEs only account for again 96% of the taxpayers of the country. 96% of the taxpayers in the corporate tax assessee. So in that also MSME is only covered. So employment opportunity is also created by MSME. Two, even the taxpayers base is also expanded only because of MSME. 96% of the taxpayers in the country are MSME. And third important thing, which will also be surprising for you to note, is nearly only 4% of credit access is provided to MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises. Only 4% credit access is provided, as per the report published by the late Sri Arun Jaitley, Honorable Finance Minister, in his budget speech. He has quoted this in 2015. Only 4% credit access, 4% of the enterprises have credit access from the bank. Rest of the 96% of the enterprises access the private finance. Rest of the 96% of the enterprises accesses the private finance. So what it means? So employment opportunities created by the MSME. Two, the employment opportunities created by the MSME. Then taxpayer, that in the corporate tax assessee also 96% of taxpayers are MSME. Three, the credit access from the bank is also very less for the MSME. Now, when I talk about credit access, you should understand, in our country, we had a crony capitalism. We have a crony capitalism. That crony capitalism happens because of various reasons. Because of favoritism by politicians, any party for that matter. This has to be I have to be very pragmatic. So the crony capitalism is the biggest problem, not only in India. You go and ask in America, even in America has the same problem of crony capitalism. Even in Europe, we have the same problem of crony capitalism. But it's very important that we take care of the micro, small, and medium enterprises. So why am I speaking with this kind of a conviction? Because time has come now. MSMEs are very, very important segment to be uplifted and transformed. My dear professors and all the invited guests and participants here and the students, it is very important for you to understand that pre-COVID and Corona, the economies, the economies around the world were all slowing down, but never recession got set in. We were all very clear before COVID and Corona that we can recover from this slowdown. We were very optimistic. Even now we are optimistic. At that point of time, we had a way out. We had a certainty in the functioning of the economy. We had at least certain factors of certainty. All the factors of certainty have become factors of uncertainty now. From a small enterprise, from a kirana shop, from a small provision shop, up to education institution, to launch manufacturer, they don't know what to do with this COVID. But if you look at the pre-COVID era, I call it as pre-COVID era. I call this as a pre-COVID era. In the pre-COVID era, everything was certain. At least certain factors, even though it is uncertain, it has been overtaken by the certainty factor. But post-COVID, everything has become uncertain. And why am I giving this example is because we are not sure when this COVID will go away, or should we live with the COVID for a long time, and we have to adjust to these factors. So this is a big question mark that is with all the stakeholders. Considering this, pre-COVID. Let me give the brief idea. You all know about COVID, where it started. Let me remind you. The COVID started somewhere in the month of November, December, and it started in a place called Wuhan. My dear friends, we are not still clear whether COVID is an artificial virus or a natural virus. Many people, there are two versions. There are many. This has a relevance. That is the reason I'm saying this. This has a relevance. This has a relevance, and I'm talking about this has a relevance to the economy, to the economic factors in place. So, in Wuhan, it originated. In Wuhan, there are two factors. There is a virology institute also. There is a wet market also. The many people have two versions. Some people say the COVID-19 has come from a mammal called pangolin. Other people say it come from a bat. Okay, so whatever it is, it could be a natural factor. But many people say in China being a very closed economy, authoritarian communism being existing in China, where many factors are not clear. Many factors are not transparent. Even when you interact with the government officials of China, they are not clear even within the government. What kind of data, whether the data is right or wrong. So when there is a lack of transparency, the lack of transparency comes because it is a closed model of authoritarian communism. Please understand. But India is a democracy. You can question anything. Now the factors I put forth here, you can go and check in Google and question me right here. But in China, you cannot question the government. Government has all the control on the enterprises, and every data in the government is controlled. Every data of the government and the people is controlled. In fact, we are running this program. There is no requirement for VPN. But in China, when you are doing all this program, then we need to enter into a virtual private network, not World Wide Web. So we need to enter into a VPN. You have to key in the VPN, then go inside it, and then telecast. So what happened? The entire data gets controlled by the Chinese government. Now, virology department, if it is as though looks like it is a artificial COVID-19 and corona, because it is layered with synthetic and it is mutating according to the region. For the corona and COVID has become a global citizen. Corona and COVID has become that virus which we cannot even see, has become a global citizen. Today it's there everywhere, every country, in different forms and different nature. The corona and COVID, they say the corona and COVID in India is not equal to the same virus in America. So why I'm saying this factor is, if anywhere in any country, if they say the corona is gone, it is only flattening the curve. For example, today from Tamil Nadu, somebody goes to Nagaland or any Tripura or Sikkim where the people have come out from corona COVID, I'm sure again it gets spread. Please understand, the corona COVID came from one person. It spread to the entire world. Similarly, one person is enough to spread corona and COVID. So until that last person in our country goes out of the corona, we cannot say the corona has gone out from the country. Now, is it a distant dream? Could be a distant dream. It keeps spreading. So we should look at what are the steps to be taken, adequate steps to be taken. Any pandemic as a challenge, but this has a greater impact on economy. Today, let me give a declaration. You're all intellectuals here attending this session. You are the messengers of this session. You should understand, I'm telling you the full conviction, recession has set in across the world. The times are not going to be easy. At the same time, there are huge opportunities that are going to open up. And what are the opportunities that is going to open up? Is the best time for startup, is the best time for the educators, it is the best time for digital transformation. I'm very happy. Stella Maris College, the leadership of Stella Maris College, I have to thank Lima ma'am and all the teachers and the people who are running this institution to be proactive in transforming digitally to conduct this session. And it is very important that we are reaching now. So digital transformation is going to be the order of the day. Healthcare is going to transform. Hygiene factors are going to transform. Nutritional factors are going to transform. Robotic, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality. These are all going to be the buzzword, which is going to transform the way that we are going to look at, and the role of robots are going to be really effective in the days to come. At least the robotic process and robotic solution would have taken at least 15 years or 10 years in India. Now, considering this COVID and Corona, all the process-oriented job will be replaced by robo and robotic solution. Wherever we can bring a human element, is there? It is the place where the best of the resources are going to be utilized. The pre-COVID and post-COVID, the world is changed, my dear friends. Pre-COVID and post-COVID, the world is changed now. Just the way we say BC and BC, before BC, after BC, similar is the concept now. before COVID, after COVID, the world is different now. And our interaction, our socializing, today the brand has gone for a while. None of the brands are respected because very simple, because people don't go to the malls. There's no meeting happening with people. So the requirement for a branded product has gone today. So there's a compulsive reason why people were buying brands. But today branded products have gone. So all these challenges have set in our world. And let me explain you about the framework, that policy framework. And in Swami Vivekananda School of Public Policy, we arrive at this framework. How do you look? Because we're all intellectuals. The lot of articles will be written in the days to come on COVID and Corona. So you people will be very interested to learn. So let me give you the framework of a policy, how it is functioning in the country, and explain you about what you should look into the papers. My dear friends, there are very important things that you need to understand. When you look at the paper and when you see Corona COVID news, you will see human suffering, factors of human suffering. Two, in the factors of human suffering, you will see that you recent statistics I saw 3 lakh people are dead. Were dead because of Corona. Were dead because of Corona is what the statistics you can see. More than millions of people got affected by Corona. The numbers are increasing. But when one factor that we need to look at in India, the mortality rates are very, very less. Especially in entire India, Tamil Nadu, the mortality rate is very, very less. Hats off to the Tamil Nadu government, proactive step. Of course, the cases are increasing. We are trying to develop the herd immunity. But however, human suffering is increasing. Global economic recession has set in. But one factor that you need to look at, I was listening to Parag Khanna, my good friend, who is now who has written a book on the Asia. The Asia is going to be the 21st century. That Asianization book, when I read through, I had an interaction with Parag Khanna. Parag Khanna says, even though the recession would have set into various countries, even though recession would have got set into globally, even though recession could come to India, but let me tell you, the time for India has come. The time for India has come because India is a market, 130 crore population. If you see the entire population, out of 130 crore, out of 7 billion population around the world, out of 7 billion population around the world, 5 billion population is in India. 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 Accordingly, that what you should understand, when 5 billion population is in India, 5 billion population is in Asia. Sorry, I stand corrected. 1.3 billion population is in India. 1.4 billion population in China. The entire Asia accounts 5 billion population. That means who has got affected by Corona? It is Asia which has got affected by Corona. Yes, of course, America has also got affected. European nations also got affected. But if you look at from the holistic point of view, Asia got affected. But even though recession might set in Asia, but Asia will recover because the market is here. Innovation, the 21st century innovations are going to come from here. Natural resources are going to be from here. And even the connectivity, port connectivity to the trade connectivity is very closely netted in Asia. So looking at this, it's time for Asia. It's time for Asia. So even though America would have got affected, MENA region would have got affected, Africa slightly affected, Africa and Asia is to an extent is in control compared to the Western countries. So the time for Asia has come. Time for Asia's development has come. In that, India will play a major role. And of course, the third important element that we need to look at is from the micro perspective. I spoke from the healthcare perspective, then I spoke from the economic recession perspective, and then now I'm addressing on the micro perspective, where the enterprises or the corporate, and there is a deep financial and corporate sector distress that is also happening. A lot of people going bankrupt. Now immediately the question that comes, whether the government should have locked down in the first place. My dear friends, please understand, today we are conducting this webinar, you are all attending the webinar, we are all safe, because if the government would not have locked down, a government of India, if it had not locked down on March 21st, from that day onwards, the plan of lockdown happened. Until today, we are under lockdown in different formats, different version. Lockdown 1, lockdown 2, lockdown 3, lockdown 4 is started now, and there were some relaxation provided for certain businesses. I accept it. But if this lockdown was not happened, let me tell you, it would have been a community spread. You would not have an awareness. Everybody would have got affected by Corona. Today, the mortality rates would have gone up in India. Many people would have lost their lives. We would have got affected. Today, the smooth functioning of even this kind of economy would not have happened. At least we paused the economy for some time. We pressed the pause button for the purpose of saving the life. Don't regret. Now on, when the economy is going, we know now we have to live with all the scientists and many people are saying that we have to live with corona. So, but we will ensure that the postmortem is removed now. But that does not mean we will live our life in the way we were before the postmortem. Meaning, the life will be with the corona, but we are all aware. Today, if you go to a village in Ramanathapuram, even if you go to a village in near the remotest slum and a village, they will tell you to wear a mask. This awareness has come the past 60, which we will exit 60 days when the second lockdown 4.0 is getting over. This awareness in India itself is a big thing. Oh, people are knowing now, okay, we have to wear a mask, we have to wash our hand. This is more than sufficient to ensure that we live with corona in the sense the corona exists in the economy, still we can progress the economy with this kind of awareness. For that, the cost that we have paid is an economic downturn in India. So now, when you're going to see going to see the papers, you have to get reminded and look at from these dimensions. I will make it very simple and easy. Many students in Stella know how I present the session. So I will make it very easy so that when you see a paper, when you see any kind of literature that is going to come in the papers or anywhere, you are going to read about technical literatures. 4 important dimensions you will notice. Let me explain you. So policy instruments, you will notice. What are the policy instruments? You will keep looking at the government announcing on health and social protection. Health and social protection. You will also see government announcing monetary policy reforms. Monetary policy reforms. You will also see the government announcing on fiscal policy reforms. And you will also see government announcing on financial regulatory policy. Why they are doing all these things? For 3 targeted outcomes. For 3 targeted outcomes. The first outcome is flattening the human suffering curve. Flattening the human suffering curve. Second outcome is flattening the bankruptcy curve. Flattening the bankruptcy curve. Flattening the bankruptcy curve. Third dimension of doing this is flattening the recession curve. I repeat, there are 4 policy instruments. You are all intellectuals. I want you people to look at the papers and the article from this dimension. What are the ways you will look at the article? First, when you look at the article, when you look at the paper, you will know the policy instrument. When you look at the what are the policy instrument ideas that comes? 1, health and social protection. 2, monetary policy. 3, fiscal policy. And 4, financial regulatory policy. What are the target outcomes that we are looking at? The 3 targeted outcomes are flattening the human suffering curve because of the COVID and corona that comes and controlled through health and protection measure. Similarly, flattening the bankruptcy curve. Many people are going bankruptcy now. Businesses are going bankrupt. So how do we ensure that they don't go? Through monetary policy and fiscal policy. So these are the two important policy documents through which we control 3 targeted outcome. The target outcome of flattening the bankruptcy curve. And last, financial and regulatory policies. Financial and regulatory policy, using that we go and flattening the recession curve. Flattening the recession curve. So to flatten the recession curve, to flatten the bankruptcy curve, we have 3 policies: monetary policy, fiscal policy, and financial and regulatory policies. So using these 3 policy documents, monetary policy, fiscal policy, financial regulatory policy, we will be able to control the flattening the recession curve. To ensure that we flatten the recession curve, the recession should not go deep where we will not be able to recover. So we will flatten the recession curve and flatten the bankruptcy curve. My dear friends, so using this, we will see what the government has done for the MSME. So this is the introduction which I wanted to provide. So now we are very clear. In India, the Indian economy is driven by MSME. Then when you're going to look at the paper, you're going to look at the paper from the 4 policy angle: health and social protection, monetary policy, fiscal policy, financial regulatory policy, and from the 3 targeted outcome perspective, one is flattening the human suffering curve, flattening the bankruptcy curve, and flattening the recession curve. So from this angle only, we will discuss and understand what the government is trying to do. My dear friends, this session, what I'm doing for Stella Maris, before this, I've done more than 60 to 70 programs on these ideas. Just a second, let me take out the documents relevant for the discussion now on MSME. My dear friends, One more minute. I'm just opening the document. My dear friends, this is a session I'm doing for a lot of management associations I've done for the countries including AIMA, Madras Management Association, CII. I've been doing continuous session every day. But one thing I wanted to convey, especially to the student community and the intellectuals here, you are the carriers of the messenger. Government at this point of time can do its best. I'm not saying whatever the government is doing is the best. Government is trying. There are definitely they are missing out certain big pictures. However, they are addressing also certain big picture items. So the government with the given resource, they are trying their best. But is it a foolproof? None of the government can say these are all foolproof for the ensuring that we come out from the corona. But let me share what they are trying to do. So please understand from the policy perspective. I will give critical comments about the policy at the end. At the end, what the government should do, improvement points. So yes, we will provide critical points, but as an improvement point at the end, I'll also take up some questions from you all. So now in another 20 minutes, I'll brief you what the government is trying to do at this juncture. My dear friends, when the government of India, Prime Minister announced on Atmanirbhar Bharat, he clearly said that 5 pillars have to be built on economy. So now economy, infrastructure, system, vibrant demography and demand. This was his vision as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat. 2, the government of India also allotted 20 lakh crore, 10% of the GDP, 10% of India's GDP. If we compare the economic stimulus package announced by the government compared to any other country, Spain or France or any other country, you will notice that the percentage of allocation for GDP is not the same like your other country. In fact, the other countries allocated lesser economic stimulus package, but India allocated the highest stimulus package as part of this as part of this economic and stimulus package. It is 10% of India's GDP. Now, what is India's GDP? All the students here will be very interested to know. 200 lakh crores in India's GDP. And economic professors here know better, and many professors attending from different colleges. So 200 lakh crores is the India's GDP. In that, 10% the government has allotted. 20 lakh crore the government has allotted. Now this 20 lakh crore, don't ask whether the government has given directly money to the people. Please understand, in any economy, to revive the economy, you have to put the people for productive employment and productive tasks. So to put them, we can only give credit policy. Through credit policy, please understand, I spoke about health and social health protection policy. That anyway the government is doing, the PPE and the COVID centers getting open, the testing requirements. That is one thing. Monetary policy. So anywhere to kickstart the economy, we have to leverage on monetary policy. Did the government of India leverage on monetary policy? Yes, the government of India has leveraged on the monetary policy. The monetary policy is an exclusive domain of the Reserve Bank of India. Now, Ministry of Finance also has come out with the fiscal policy. Now, the package is provided to various sections, including cottage industry, MSME, laborers, middle class, industries, and among others. Now, in this, the government of India also stressed about self-reliant India movement. Please understand, when they talk about self-reliant India movement, it is not that you should not buy a branded product. So it is not that you should not get into a foreign product. Anything today, show me one laptop which is manufactured in India. No, but it is manufactured in India, but the technology know-how is from other country. So that means, so it is all about promoting a Indian product. At the same time, when you go to local shops, try to buy local products. So when you buy local products, ultimately it is benefiting the local people, MSME and micro enterprises. So it is a time to do business with them, because those are the people who got affected. Those are the people who got affected because of this corona and COVID. So what did the government do? In the first package, the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, in the first package, they allocated 1,70,000 crore. 1,70,000 crore. Now the question is whether it is reached to the people. The government data says insurance coverage has reached to has been provided for 50 lakh rupees coverage has been provided for health worker. Did I not talk about policy instrument where I said health policy and social protection policy will be brought? So that has been got. And Second, 80 crore people have been given 5 kg wheat and rice per person for 3 months. 1 kg pulse. 20 crore women have been through Jandan account, have been given 500 per month. Then they have provided gas cylinder free of cost for 3 months. Then Mandrega has been increased from 202 a day from 182 rupees. So 202 rupees they are paying. How many people? 13 crore people have got benefited. 13 crore people are getting benefited. Next, ex gratia from 1000 to rupees 1000 to 3 crore poor senior citizens, poor widows, and poor the Divyang. When I say Divyang, they're all the physically challenged. For them, the government is providing this ex gratia. And not only that, front loading of 2000 rupees has happened for all the PM Kisan under the PM Kisan Saman Yojana. Then 24% PF, very important for common students to understand and the intellectuals here to understand. The government said we will give PF of 24%. Which enterprise? In whichever enterprise there is 100 workers and 90% of the workers, 90% of the workers are drawing more than 15,000 rupees. So the condition is the government will pay for those employees whose salary is 15,000 rupees, less than 15,000, 15,000 less than 15,000 rupees, 12%, 12%, 24% the government will bear. Why? It gives you 12% saving for the corporate company, and also 12% the employee need not pay, and they can contribute to the EPF, which will add up to their saving. Next, the employee provident fund also said 70% of the 70% can be advance, which can be taken. 70% of the advance can be taken from the EPF and PF. Then self-help groups also have been provided lot of help. Then district mineral fund was also provided. Beyond this, the government of India and raised the advance limits, and pending income tax refunds were provided. Now let me come to the Reserve Bank of India approach. What the Reserve Bank of India did is providing targeted long-term repo operation. TLTRO of 1 lakh crores. In TLTRO, long-term targeted long-term repo operation. Through targeted long-term repo operation, they can increase the liquidity. My dear friends, when the repo rate and reverse repo rate reduces and CRR gets reduced, what happens? The liquidity increases. So what is the total liquidity created by the Reserve Bank of India? 4,30,000 crore, my dear friends. As per the banking, many people will know banking principles. In banking, there is something called multiplier effect. If you put 1 rupee, it will not remain 1 rupee in bank. So that means 4,30,000 crore is now released by Reserve Bank of India. What will happen? It will multiply. And they say on average it multiplies to 5 times. So 20 lakh crore liquidity is available today in the country. Even though it is 4,30,000 created, when it is put in the banking channel, it will multiply itself into 20 lakh. That is the beauty of the banking channel. So looking at this, to manage this COVID and Corona, there is a money available which the government started to look into. Now let me explain about what is the total allocation under the first part. There are 4 parts which the government released. 5th part also the government released. I will deal with certain features and factors and take up questions from you all. First factor is businesses, MSMEs are provided 3 lakh crore collateral free automatic loans for business and MSME. Then 20,000 crore subordinate debt for MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises. And 50,000 equity infusion through MSME fund of funds. I'll explain everything, but I'm giving the highlight first. Then new definition of MSME has been provided. I will discuss about the new definition of the MSME also. Then there is a global tender disallowed up to 200 crore for the foreign investments. Then other intervention for MSMEs, other intervention by MSMEs is also brought in. Then 2,500 crore EPF support for business and workers for 3 more months has been provided. Then EPF contribution reduced for business and workers for 3 months, about 6,750 crores. Then 30,000 crore liquidity facility for NBFC, 45,000 crore partial credit guarantee scheme has been provided for NBFC, 90,000 crore liquidity injection for discounts has been provided, extension of registration and completion date of real estate projects under RERA has also been brought in. Rupees 50,000 crore liquidity through TDS and TCS reductions has also been brought in, and then direct tax measures has been taken and indirect tax measures are also been taken. Now let me explain about the 3 crore allocation. My dear friends, the 3 crore allocation that the government has done is a collateral free loan. It is a collateral free loan. No guarantee is required to pay. But for whom it is provided? It is provided to those enterprises who have been extremely doing well before COVID and Corona. But because of lockdown came in, their outstanding loan is about 25 crore and they are having 100 crore turnover. For them, the government has given 3 crore collateral free automatic loans for business, including MSMEs. Now, let me go and talk about MSME definition. It is very interesting. You should note the definition of MSME has undergone a change. The definition of MSME has undergone a change. What is the change that has? What is the change the MSME is undergone? So first, existing and revised definition of MSME. What was the existing and revised? What was the existing definition? Let me look at it. First, it was based on investment criteria. What was the investment criteria? The investment criteria was based on manufacturing or service industry. Now, example, if I have to call an enterprise as a micro enterprise under manufacturing enterprise, investment less than 25 lakh is a micro enterprise in manufacturing enterprise. Then small enterprise investment less than 5 crore is in case of manufacturing is small. Then in case of medium investment less than 10 crore is a medium enterprise. Then in case of service enterprise, micro investment less than 10 lakh, investment less than 10 lakh. Then in case of small, investment less than 2 crore. And then in case of medium, investment less than 5 crore, investment less than 5 crore. Then automatically it was a micro, small and medium enterprise. Now the definition has undergone a change. Definition has undergone a change. What is the change that the definition has undergone? It is now based on investment and turnover. So now the classification is only threefold: micro, small and medium enterprises, but there is no difference between manufacturing and service. All this for all the industry, it is the uniform condition, whether it is manufacturing or whether it is service sector, it is the same. It is the same. What is the condition? Investment less than 1 crore and turnover less than 5 crore. Turnover less than 5 crore, it is micro. Then if it is investment less than 10 crore, investment turnover less than 50 crore, then it is small. Investment less than 20 crore, turnover less than 100 crore, it is medium. So now the definition has undergone a change. Let me explain you. But the number of micro enterprises that will come under the micro enterprises will be more. The volume will be more. So the outlay remains the same, but the volume is more. I stand critical here because more number of players coming in micro will ensure that lot of benefits will be provided, but lesser benefits will be provided. Earlier, under the old definition, the micro definition was the lower limit of investment. So what was happening? Lower limit of investment was including lower number of enterprises. But now what has happened, when the investment has increased to 1 crore, when the turnover has increased to 5 crore, automatically more number of enterprises will fall in the bucket of micro, and because of that, more outlay has to be provided. The question is whether government is ready to provide more outlay. But when I read a fine print released by the finance minister announcements, I can see that there is no much announcement for micro. It has to increase. I stand critical about it. But anyway, the government has done a good job by at least redefining this definition. My dear friends, I have been involved with the government and government meetings regularly, even in the Corona time, through various video conferencing. So I have been clearly mentioning that in wherever I have been on an opportunity to give opinions on micro enterprises, you can go and check all my YouTube channels. I'm not speaking about this change in the definition now. You can check all my YouTube videos in my channel, and you can also check my Facebook page at Satyakumar, Satyakumar. You can go and subscribe and check all my discussions. I have said micro enterprises, small enterprises and medium enterprises definition has to undergo a change. The second important development which I want to highlight is global tenders to be disallowed up to 200 crore. Global tenders has to be disallowed up to 200 crore. Any foreign company who come to India and tries to put money into the global tender, and that tender, if it is less than 200 crore, if it is less than 200 crore, it has to be only provided to the MSME. It has to be only provided to the MSME. So foreign players will not be allowed. Foreign players will not be allowed. So it will be disallowed in government procurement tenders up to 200 crore. And necessary amendment in financial rules, general rules also has been provided. And self-reliant India and under the self-reliant India, Make in India scheme, this has been provided. So is it a great opportunity? It's a great opportunity. My dear friends, for example, think about the entrepreneur in Namakkal. Namakkal is Western Tamil Nadu, right? Western Tamil Nadu. Many faculties would have attended from there also. Many students would have been from that place also. And it's an entrepreneurial hub. In Namakkal, somebody wants to, who is into the, let's assume, egg contract. There is a government department, okay, huge canteens they run. For example, Tamil Nadu government may run a canteen. So they wanted to enter into a tender. There is a foreign player who is having a poultry. There is an Indian player who is also having a poultry. Now this Indian player who is running a poultry can apply to this tender. That foreign player cannot apply this tender because the global tender is up to 200 crore only for the MSME, that is Indian company. So looking at it, what happens? It is the opportunity now. So you are excluding the competition between the global player. Most of the time, this 200 crore projects, if you see earlier, it is all this Chinese company who has been investing. Now it got reduced. Accordingly, we have to appreciate the government for bringing this change. Next is MSME, marketing and liquidity has been created. And next thing is that one more interesting fact which I wanted to highlight. You all think that doing business as MSME is difficult only with the private player. Let me open up certain important issues even with the government. My dear friends, it is very, very unfortunate in our country. Doing business with the government is very tough. Doing business with the government is very tough. You're all professors, you know better. So you all read newspapers. In government, it is all rule book based. You know, there was a great leader of Singapore, Prime Minister of Singapore, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. So he written a book on India. Lee wrote a book about India. Lee wrote an article about India. Here, Lee has clearly said the biggest hurdle of India, Lee Kuan Yew said, the biggest hurdle for India is bureaucracy. Biggest hurdle for India. I stand on that conviction. And you can go and check even the honest bureaucrats in our country, they will tell you the same thing. The biggest problem in the country is the bureaucracy. My dear friends, I stand on that conviction. Why? Because Lee also has mentioned it as part of his article. Now, why is the biggest? Why the bureaucracy is the biggest hurdle? Take for example MSME. MSMEs have done business with lot of enterprises, government enterprises, but they have not received the payment. 5 lakh crore is pending, my dear friends. 5 lakh crore is pending, my dear friends. I repeat again, this number should go into your mind and get registered. I'll be louder also to tell this number because it should go in. I'm taking time to explain this number because 5 lakh crore is the pending amount from the government by the MSME. It's a huge number. I would request the professors here to reach out to me. If you want to do a research about it, I welcome, because in Swami Vivekananda School of Public Policy, we do research with the professors. In fact, some of the ideas given by the professors were placed before the government and government has accepted it. My dear friends, many professors who are interested in research, please reach out to me. I will share my contact details at the end and you can reach out to me. And if you're in, and please do research on these things. 5 lakh crore is pending from which enterprises? Central government, union government public sector undertaking, as well as state government public sector undertaking. There are public sector undertakings jointly owned by state government as well as central government. State government and central government. Partly by state government, partly by central government. Those enterprises have not paid 5 lakh crore to the MSME. What is the condition of MSME Act? MSME Act says 45 days, within 45 days, you have to pay the payment. But the government department, government enterprises, government public sector undertaking itself doesn't pay to the MSME. So government is telling everybody to release the payment, but government itself should release the payment is my request. I hope you got the point. So anybody who's interested to do a research of this, welcome. You can reach out to me. And if you're willing to do a breakup of this 5 lakh crore, you can do it by checking with various data and corroborating. And next, one more important policy intervention for MSME is 2,500 crore. The government has brought EPF support. So for 3 months, now they've extended it further. They've allocated about furthermore things. So what they have done, so they have provided 12% EPF contribution has been made, 24% contribution made by the government itself for the enterprises, for about 3.67 lakh enterprises. So all the MSMEs have been provided as a EPF contribution. Then liquidity support. So liquidity support has also been provided. So liquidity support is also provided of a contribution of EPF, about 6 lakh. How many enterprises availed it? 6.5 lakh enterprise availed it, and now the contribution has got reduced from 12% to 10%. 10% plus 10%, 20%, 10% plus 10%, 20% is the only contribution that we need to make. If the government is making a contribution for that enterprises, which I mentioned you, where there are 100 employees and where there are 100 employees and you have 15,000 rupees, people who are drawing salary of 15,000 rupees, and less than that, 90% is more, or 90% or more of the employees are 15,000 category, then the government itself contributes 10% plus 10%. Next. Rupees 30,000 crore special liquidity for NBFC has been provided. The beauty of this scheme is 30,000 crore is given to the NBFC, and NBFC should go and fund the micro enterprises. So, and then partial credit guarantee scheme of 45,000 has been given by the government. Beyond this, TCS and TDS rates are reduced. You must be in third year of your commerce graduation, and some professors will be teaching students. The TCS and TDS got reduced from reduced by 25%. For example, wherever the payment has to be made, you have to deduct TDS. Simple concept. Whenever the payment is made, we have to deduct TDS. While deducting the TDS, we were deducting 10%. Now we have to deduct only 7.5%. 25% reduction in the rate. So that means why the government has done this? Even though the TDS they deducted will come as a deduction as part of your income tax when you are paying income tax. This has been provided to ensure that the payment is made. So, my dear friends, beyond this, I will highlight some more points and then finally talk about total allocation details. And then this is the fair points brought by the MSME. So, MSME definition they have changed. There is a partial credit guarantee scheme they have provided, completely backed up by the government credit, which 100% credit guarantee is now provided by the government. Earlier never the 100% credit guarantee has been provided. This is the first time Indian government has provided 100% credit guarantee. 100% credit guarantee, because of which it will reach the common man. But one reservation and one constraint which could be there while executing this project, is going to be this: bankers has to provide the loan ultimately. Even though the government has provided, all these schemes are wonderful. All this, every government brings these schemes, but who has to deliver? The bankers has to deliver. Who has to deliver? The bankers has to deliver. Now, let me give you 3 or more schemes. The government under this Atmanirbhar Bharat, to ensure that the cottage industry and micro enterprises gets the help. So they have allocated Mudra scheme. Under the Mudra scheme, 1.62 crore people have already benefited. 1.62 crore already benefited, for which they have allotted 1,500 crore. Now, they for which a lot of money has been allocated in the previous time. But now, considering the COVID and Corona, they've allotted 1,500 crore more, and they said they will reach out to 3 crore enterprises. 3 crore enterprises. Again, Mudra scheme, whose hands it is falling as a responsibility? It is falling the responsibility of the bankers. Now, who has to deliver? The bankers has to deliver. I'm asking a simple question. If any small entrepreneur goes to a bank, is he encouraged in the bank? Is he made to sit and discuss? No. Whereas a large corporate goes, the bankers sit and discuss with them. My dear friends, it's very important that we should encourage the small enterprises, cottage industry and micro enterprises. In spite of this, Mudra scheme has been funded for 17 crore people. 8 lakh crores has been funded in the past. In that, there are 3 sub-schemes: Shishu, Kishore and Tarun. Shishu is about 50,000, 0 to 50,000, 50,000 to 5 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh. And Tarun, Shishu is about 50,000, Kishore is about 50,000 to 5 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh is Tarun. My dear friends, why am I giving the statistics to you? To tell you, in that the Shishu, the government is planning and very clearly that under Shishu, there is a 1,500 crore allocation that the government has done. Now, in this 1,500 crore allocation, the government, it has to be reached to the Mudra scheme holders. Then 2 is the street vendors. 2 is the street vendors. Now, street vendors are now provided loan under the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar Bharat. What is the loan that they were provided? The loan is nothing but 5,000 crore. First time after independence, the government of India has thought about it. The question is, why the government of India? When I talk about government of India, it is just not the prime minister. It is the entire government machinery. Why did the government machinery did not even think about this roadside, roadside shops or the shop vendors? Why are they? Why never they thought about them? All the roadside, Salai or Vyabarigal. in Tamil to say in a very precise way. Salai ora vyabarigal, the platform they sell, but they are all were victims of kandu vaddi, meter vaddi, speed vaddi. It was put in a very simple colloquial way. The interests were very high. They were getting at a very high interest. Now shopkeepers are now provided all the roadside salai ora vyabarigalukku government has provided 5,000 crore, and interest subvention is also provided for Mudra 2%. So wherever the market rate is 6%, then Mudra will be provided 4%. So interest subvention is provided, and the number of reach also is very high in Mudra. Now considering this, shopkeepers are provided 5,000. The question is, how do we reach the awareness of the shop to the shopkeeper? So my request to Stella Mary students and all the professors who are attending here, more than 500 people are attending is what I understand. If you are attending this session, my request to you all is, please ensure that you reach the government schemes, irrespective of the government that can come in, whether this prime minister or any prime minister who can come to the power. It is very important that we first understand the schemes. Understand the schemes first. My dear friends, I was after the shopkeeper loan was announced. Every day one person comes to my home to deliver a milk packet. I asked him, "Do you know about this scheme?" He said, "I don't know, sir. In Delhi, they speak in English or Hindi. What will I understand?" Neither the Tamil Nadu government that talks about all these schemes to the shopkeepers. So government also doesn't have the reach to the people. So who can do it? Professors like you, great professors like you, who are all impacting the student community, should take this session and provide the awareness to the students. And what the students will do, sir, we have given the idea to the students, sir. What will the students do? Students can become the ambassador of the government policy. Government need not give you a tag of ambassador for the government policy, but giving this idea to the student, he can place a nice video, social media videos, or probably he can print a pamphlet kind of a thing, give it to the same milk vendor. He will go and give it to all the shopkeepers, and they will go and knock at the door of the banker. It is very important. Bankers has to serve the common people today for ensuring they get the loan. For example, I still remember in Bodi Naikanur, there are small enterprises, plantations that are there. I keep interacting with them. Some of the people interacting with them. In the Voddan Chatram, lot of agricultural people are there who have a lot of products which they sell on the road. On entire road, they keep selling on the main roads, highways, on the markets, platforms. These people are all getting loan from whom? The working capital from the meter vaddi, kandu vaddi, who abuses them. Can we use the scheme, the shopkeeper scheme? 5,000 crore. Friends, it is 5,000 crore that the government has allotted. I want all the professors who are attending this session here to take these schemes to the last mile citizen of our nation. It is a great job. It is a great opportunity for you to transform the nation. We need not be in the power. Without remaining the power, you can be powerful. How to do it? Understand get the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Transform that knowledge to the masses. And when it goes to the masses, automatically the government can transform the people's life. So government can only bring the policy. Reaching out is the responsibility of great teachers like you all. Teachers, academicians are the great influencers of our nation. Whether it is Mahatma Gandhi or Netaji Subhash Chandra, everybody has got influenced by the teachers. Please understand. Everybody got influenced only because of the teacher. And teacher only can influence the masses. So teacher only can influence the masses, work on the mind of the student. So I request you people to reach out and understand the schemes provided by the government and provide the incentive to the shopkeepers. 5,000 crores has been allotted. I repeat, 50 lakh shopkeepers are targeted. I request the government. I've requested in the committee meetings of the government already. I've been involved extensively in the government meetings with the stakeholders. Even I have interacted with the ministers, and ministers even called me up for various ideas which I have drafted and given from Swami Vivekananda School of Public Policy. It's a powerful organization where we have given ideas for grassroots level development. My dear friends, the 5,000 crore reaching out to 50 lakh, please take note of the scheme. The government is releasing the particulars on this, and they are expected to release it shortly. Please, when you get this information, immediately spread this knowledge to all the shop vendors, shopkeepers around your college, around your locality. Let everybody go and take the loan. My dear friends, the next question, and then after that, I'll take up some questions from you all. Let me complete the session in another 5 to 6 minutes and take up question. The next question that comes, two important pertinent question. Sir, migrant workers are the migrant workers are our pillars of our nation. Yes, migrant workers are the pillars of our nation. For MSME to prosper in the country, migrant workers are very, very important. Many MSMEs were functioning only with the migrant workers. You know what has happened to these migrant workers? Nobody took care of them. Nobody took care of them. Today, if you go to the government of India, census website, census of India website, you will find the census of the migrant workers. It accounts for about 29%. Every fourth person you meet on the road is a migrant worker. Sir, how do you know, sir? How do you prove that? You go to a saloon shop, you will find a migrant worker. You would have come from Nagaland or Sikkim or Himachal Pradesh. You go into a hotel shop, you would see the Bihar, brother from Bihar or sister from Bihar would come and clean the table. Clean the table. And every fourth person you meet, even in Tamil Nadu, is a migrant worker. The total migrant workers in India is 31 crore, my dear friends. That's conservative statistics. People say it could be more also. 31 crore as per the government of India census data. I'm talking about historical data. I'm not talking about random data. Now there's 31 crore migrant workers. The 10% started moving because in the panic, because they are all, I pity them. They're all uneducated. It's our responsibility as educated to go and educate them. We were not able to do that. When we were not able to do that, that migrant workers started moving from this state to another state from their origin state. Now, how the government can address this problem? Government, of course, knows how much migrant workers are there, but they don't know whether they are, whether how many people are stranded. So the stranded data is not available. If you see the Outlook India magazine, they reported saying that data of stranded migrant worker. How can government generate data of stranded migrant workers? Government has a data of migrant workers. So considering this, government has taken 2 steps for them. I'm not saying that steps are adequate. Government definitely missed them. Even the state government as well as central government missed them. And looking at this, let me explain you what the government has done as a step. 40,000 crore has been allotted for Manrega. 40,000 crore for the Manrega. Mahatma Gandhi rural development program, Manrega program, 40,000 crore. All these 10% migrant workers, where did they go? Somebody came from Patna. He did not come from Patna. He came from the village near Patna. So when he goes there, Manrega program will come as a handy. Manrega program will come as handy to save him, because if you give, I always used to say, all the management professionals, even teachers used to say, instead of giving fish, you teach the people how to fish so that they can get fish every day. You got the point? So government considering this Manrega program, they have allotted 40,000 crore. All these migrant workers who went there now are going to get 202 rupees per day. 100 days program is ensured. Even man days the government is increasing. Even the government is planning to increase the man days also. 100 days program it is. The government is planning to increase further. We were also given representation of the government. When the labor minister spoke to me on with all the experts around the country, I was participant there. I was given a representation. I had a brief conversation and I said, please ensure, even to the rural ministry, ensure that you increase the man days for the Manrega. So these people, when they go to villages, the Manrega program will be helping them. And for the migrant workers who are there here, who are helping the micro and small and medium enterprises, who are there in respective states, what is helpful is the ration. The government has said in the Atmanirbhar Bharat that 8 crore migrant workers will be provided free ration without ration card. Without ration card. It's a great opportunity. 5 crore, 5 lakh, 5 kg, 5 kg, 5 kg. 5 kilo. Whether it could be rice or a wheat or atta, whatever as the case may be, and pulses of 1 kg every month. When they give that, automatically the migrant workers will be taken care. So my dear friends, one thing that the government couldn't help the migrant workers is, during the lockdown, migrant workers started walking. It is really painful to see as a co-citizen. Yeah, I'm ashamed to see in the country where we are all 130 crore population, highly educated. Our hands are tied and we are seeing them suffering. And one day when I saw the people, one small child on that suitcase, you would have all seen that video. The kid actually was falling asleep. The kid was actually sleeping on that suitcase. Mother is pulling that suitcase. And when I saw that, really my heart broke. we as an educated people, what are we doing? We have to go and give that government scheme to them. We need not even give donation. If you have money, please give donation. If you don't have money, only an intellectual power, please use the intellectual power to transform our countries and core citizen. Service is the motive, and service should stand as our idea. And you should also go and give knowledge. So use your social media extensively. If you're a professor, try to know all these schemes and provide the ideas to the government. And not only that, NABARD has been allotted 30,000 crore extra for funding the agriculturalist. There is a additional step, minimum support price for ensuring that MSP increases. The vision of the government is to doubling the farmers' income. How the doubling of the farmers' income can happen? By fixing the MSP, okay, minimum support, minimum selling price. So if it is made 2 times, then automatically the doubling the farmers' income will happen. So 74,300 crores has been allotted for PM Kisan Fund alone. 18,700 crores has been allotted. For example, PM Kisan card is only applicable. Even I'm talking about farmer MSMEs. Okay, so even PM Kisan card is only applicable to 9 crore, only applicable to 2 crores, only applicable to 9 crore. So Kisan Saman Yojana and all they're crediting. So PM Kisan cards should be provided to all the farmers in the country. And beyond this, it's very important that food processing industry is also to be incentivized in the micro entrepreneurship model, which the NABARD has come out certain schemes which the government can buy. 1 lakh crore agriculture infrastructure investment is also provided in the in this scheme. Last, let me summarize the last tranche. Let me summarize the last tranche of the discussion. Last tranche of discussion, 5th tranche. Okay, I'm going to talk about the various privatizations also allowed. I'm going to clarify one more thing. It is not the privatization of a public sector undertaking. It is a disinvestment. Please understand. Disinvestment does not mean it will be given to one single person. It could be through an IPO model, or it could be through diluting for various public sector undertaking. Okay, so these are the steps that the government is taking. These are the steps that the government is taking. Now, but the government is not privatizing. When is privatizing? You are all professors, highly intellectual, right? So when is privatizing? When the shareholding pattern goes below 51%. Okay, but when the shareholding pattern is above 51% and the government is holding more than 51%, it is only a dilution of investment. So accordingly, my dear friends, it's very, very important that the stimulus provided by the measures are, the total stimulus is 1,92,800 crores. First is 1,70,000 crores the government allotted, 15,000 crores the government gave for health sector, 1,92,000 crore. Then part 1, working capital facility was provided 3 lakh crore. That first part of MSME allocation alone is 6 lakh crore the government has allotted. 6 lakh crore the government has allotted. Then part 2 of the announcement is for agriculture. And small medium and enterprise also. Migrant workers, 2 more months support of food without ration card. Mudra scheme, I told you, 1,500 crore they have allotted. Interest subvention they have provided of 2%. That interest will be very less for them. They can kickstart the business. From up to 50,000 rupees loan has been provided. Then housing CLSS scheme has been provided 70,000 crore. Working capital facility has been provided 30,000 crore. Additional credit has been provided to 2 lakh crore. 3,10,000 crore has been provided in the second part. And then third part in the Atmanirbhar is food micro enterprises 10,000 crore. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sambada Yojana for fishermen is 20,000 crore. Top to total Operation Green. For Operation Green, there is one operation they have started to bring agriculture reforms is 500 crore. Agriculture infrastructure fund all-time high of 1 lakh crore. Animal husbandry and infrastructure development fund 15,000 crore. Promotion of herbal cultivation 4,000 crore. Beekeeping initiative 500 crore. And part 5 and part 4 put together 8,100 crore and Manrega of 40,000 crore. So totally is 48,000 crore. It tallies. Part 1 is about the MSMEs and is about 5,94,000 crore. Part 2 is 3,10,000 crore. Then part 3 is 1,50,000 crore. Part 4 and 5 48,100 crore. And then subtotal, the total subtotal of the entire stimulus is 11,02,650 crore. Earlier measures in KGP, that is on March last week they provided healthcare is 15,000 plus 1,70,000 crore, 1,92,800 crore. RBI measures of liquidity creation. I told you by reducing the repo rate and reverse repo rate, 4,30,000 crore. It is not actually 4,30,000 crore. It has become 8 lakh crore and that 8 lakh crore because of other measures, TL, that is long-term TRTLO, that is targeted long-term repo operation, targeted TLTRO, targeted long-term repo operation. Because of that 8 lakh crore, the total ties to 20 lakh crore. My dear friends, as of now, the government, let me stand critical at this point of time, government only has incentivized the supply side. We need to incentivize on the demand side. There are various economists here. I can see social workers here. I can see reputed institution professors here. You have to take a message that demand side. If you have any ideas with you, I will give my contact number right here. I would request you to call me up and message me, and you can partner with us on research. Let me assure you, if you can give you a good idea, that idea will reach to the Prime Minister office and also to the Niti Aayog Vice Chairman directly. And your name will be there as part of that research report. And our name will be there as part of the research report. I would request all the professors here to make use of this opportunity. And if you can give some ideas for transformation of our country, we are ready. Swami Vivekananda School of Public Policy is working as a non-partisan organization only for the development of India, only for the development of India in the ideas of Swami Vivekananda, who is a global leader, universal, and he spoke about a universal message, and he spoke about the harmony of all religions. So is instrumental for bringing the harmony of all religions around the world. He's a messenger of transformation. He's a messenger of transformation. I would request you people to partner and come with us. My mobile number is 98844922226. 98844922226. My mobile number is 98844922226. 98844922226. 98844922226. If you want to partner with us on any research document, I am there to support you all. Your research report will reach the government, and we don't know. I always believe that you may belong to Bodinayakanur, or you may belong to the Oddanchatram, you may belong to Pollachi, you may belong to Chennai, you may be near Kannaginagar in Chennai. Kannaginagar requires a transformation. Kannaginagar requires a transformation. So your idea, I believe the best of the ideas comes from the humblest of the origin. Humblest of the origin. Humblest of the origin. And let me also provide with the full conviction. The great Varghese Kurian of Amul, the CEO of the chairman of Amul, said once, the finance minister should come from rural India. Finance minister should come from rural India. My dear friends, Mahatma Gandhi to great leaders only spoke about the self-reliant India. But post-independence, we did not take off rural India. But today, because of the urban India, the rural India is suffering. Because of people who went to foreign countries, today Corona and COVID. But they used to, all these students, in a very funny way, they say, because of the communist China eating, we are all washing our hand every day. They are eating, we are washing hands. They are eating, we are washing hands. And everybody is suffering for the food also in India because of them. So today, the entire world is ours of China, because China is not transparent. China is not transparent, as simple as that. The global trade has started. 1,000 more companies are now targeting India. India is the target, and 1,000 companies are now planning to establish their companies in India. It's all time for India. And who is going to play a major role in transforming the students? It is professors like you. I am a product of my teacher. I'm a product of my teacher. So my teacher is one who inspired me to take up chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, company secretaryship, and law. I was able to complete everything because of the inspiration provided by my teacher. And then I completed my SEMA because of inspiration provided by teacher. Even today, even though the session is for 1 hour, I spoke to you all in extensive time, even though there is other commitments which I have to go immediately, because I feel every word I give you, I want to do lot of sessions for teachers, because every word I give you, every information I'll give you, it will reach thousands of students. It reaches thousands of students because you have the power of influencing the future generation of India. So you're doing a great job as teachers, and I can see the enthusiasm level in the comments. And I'm really thankful for Stella Maris College, one of the best institutions in the country, for organizing this program proactively and going for a digital transformation. And let me tell you, Stella Maris is always proactive in doing many initiatives for the students and the welfare of the community. And I thank Stella Maris College for organizing this program. Let me complete the quote with the quotation of the global leader who spread the universal message and harmony of religion of Swami Vivekananda, who inspired Rockefeller, Barack Obama, Max Muller, to Tata, to great leaders, political leaders, and national leaders, and social workers in India, who spread harmony of religion, universal message to the entire world. He said, "Let new India arise out of the peasant's cottage, grasping the plough, out of the huts of the fisherman, the cobbler, the sweeper, that is spring from the factory, from the grocer's shop, from besides the oven of the fruit seller, let it emanate from the factory, from marts, from markets, let it emerge from the groves and forests, from hills and mountains." My dear friends, this was a quotation given by Swami Vivekananda. He was more like a socialist. His ideas are all socialist ideas to transform the people, to uplift the people, service. He always said religion makes sense only when we do service. So that is a kind of a transformation. The universal leader, the global leader, Swami Vivekananda, who preached universal values and harmony of religion, spoke, who really saw, he's a social scientist. In fact, one case study which I wanted to highlight is about MSME is when he came back to India, he was not looking at establishing service organization. He was looking at establishing a entrepreneurship. He was establishing a factory, small factory in Azerbaijan. He was supposed to become an entrepreneur. He was so influenced by the Western organizations. So he wants to establish an organization, but he did not have fund. So he started a service organization. But however, his ideas were transformational, and he does not fit into one particular idea. If you read him, you will understand he is so inspirational. He has praised all the messengers of all the religion. He has praised messengers of all the religion, and this is the idea in which the new India has to be constructed. I hope the Prime Minister office, Prime Minister team is doing a wonderful job considering the new India is being built. We hope we should appreciate the government policy. At the same time, we should also stand critical about the government policy. Very important. We should appreciate the government policy. We should also stand critical about the government policy, not for the purpose of criticizing alone, for the purpose of improvement of our nation and development of our nation. C.K. Prahalad, the great management guru, said the fortune lies at the bottom of the pyramid. It was the same concept what Swami Vivekananda spoke. The fortune lies at the bottom of the pyramid, or the fortune should be provided to the people at the bottom of the pyramid. It is both ways. Fortune lies at the bottom of the pyramid. What C.K. Prahalad said. Swami Vivekananda can really put across and say, fortune has to be provided to the bottom of the pyramid. It's both the same idea. Fortune has to be provided for both of them. So this idea should go to you all. As an educator, you have the power to transform individual, and you can bring intellectual revolution transforming India with these ideas. I'm always available for Stella Maris College. We look forward for organizing many webinars like this, and I'm sure many professors will get benefited, and day by day we can increase the participation. Thanks a lot. Let me take up questions from the participants if there are any questions.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for that very, very insightful lecture, sir. You gave us an idea of the various policies that are existing and which the government has implemented. So we'll quickly take up a few questions, sir, posed by the participants. First one is by Dr. Jyoti Mishra. She wanted you to give a quick insight on the economic conditions pre and post COVID. Just a quick insight, sir.
The economic condition that is going to exist post COVID is going to be completely different. So our life will be very simple, and we will be kind of looking at the slow pace of development. Whatever the plans we had, we'll all go in a different path. So, but one thing is clear: we have to act proactively, and it is a very good time for startups. So, being I'm sure which college she belongs to.
She hasn't mentioned, sir.
Okay, Jyoti Mishra ji, I'm sure you are working in a very renowned college in India. So entrepreneurs are very important now. So recession time is the best time to start up. And in post-COVID, the economic condition is, do not worry about the money you get. What is important is idea is the 21st century currency. So if you can generate a new idea with the youngster, please, as a professor, partner with the youngster. You can also become an entrepreneur. You can be a professor and also an entrepreneur. Intellectually partner with them, and you can transform them.
Yes, thank you, sir. So the next question is, they wanted a small insight on the recent stimulus package announced by the government of rupees 20 lakh crores. Your take on that, sir?
So I briefed about it. In fact, I gave the breakup of that 20 lakh crore. So the 20 lakh crore has addressed the MSME. It has addressed various stakeholders of the country: farmer, migrant workers, Jandan account holders, self-help groups in India, woman development, woman-led development. So these are all some of the things which are addressed. So entire package of 20 lakh crores is being provided as part of the as part of the the Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. The next one is again by Dr. Jyoti Mishra. It is with the economic support rendered by the government. How long will it take to see the results, and what are the results that we can expect?
Jyoti Mishra ji, if you can mention your location, it would be wonderful. I could really understand and tell you in your area what could the transformation be. But anyway, I'll give a general suggestion to you. The ideas given by the government, the 20 lakh crore allocation has to reach to the grassroots people. It is not role of just the government. It is a role of the different institutions which are associated with the government, but like banker, the IAS officers, the local tahsildar, local panchayat leaders, to IAS collectors, even students and college professors. So this awareness first should come. So as quick the awareness comes, so is the transformation of the country. So 20 lakh crore has been allocated now. So how do we take this awareness to the last mile citizen in our country? That is the biggest challenge. The question is whether the last mile citizen in our country knows the discussion what Prime Minister had in Delhi, or will understand what the Finance Minister spoke. I am a finance professional. I myself couldn't understand the package easily. How will I then read through it for hours? Then I'm not able to understand. How will a common man understand? So we have to simplify, and we have to provide solution. It is a long-term project. It's a long-term project. It will take 6 more years to recover, Jyoti Mishra ji. It will take 6 more years to recover. So don't be in urgency. Okay, let me be very pragmatic in my discussions. I don't want to hide, because many professionals keep on beating around the bush. I'm not a guy who will beat around the bush. Straight on the point. It will take 6 years to come to the old situation which was there pre-COVID. Just on March 19th, we were in certain level of economic situation. To reach that situation, it will take 6 years.
Yes, sir. Great, sir. Thank you, sir. The next question is, what are your inputs regarding the process for registering a startup? In order to register a startup, what are the different inputs that you would have on that?
Yeah, startup registering, there is a Startup India scheme. The government has a separate portal under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, under DAPT. So you can go and check that. So you have to have a new, fresh idea. Before even you think about a startup, start about thinking about small businesses. Okay, if you have a good idea, do it. If you have a small business idea, do it. So small businesses which are scalable, go ahead doing it. So scale it up. Be the first and the fast. Very important. Startups you may start, and if you keep on being slow, another person will copy and will be fast. Please understand. You should be the first and the fast. I call it as a F-square strategy. And
Yes,
important to, and it's also important to enhance the guerrilla marketing. So it's very important that you capture the minds of the people.
Yes, sir.
In all ways.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. The next question is, now after we finish the COVID or post-COVID era, will the cost of labor go up? Will it become more expensive to hire labor?
No, it will actually go down.
Okay.
It's otherwise, because the reason is everybody wants survival now. So earlier there was a lot of money. Now there is no money. There is no much competition to pay. So the labor cost will come down, Nilesh Mahajanji.
Okay. Okay, sir. So there was one question raised by one Miss Alavarasi. They are into the distribution of cosmetic products, sir. And she wanted to know if they require a loan, under which category can they get this loan?
What is it? What is the question?
They are into the distribution of cosmetic products. So if they
Yeah,
want to get a loan, under which scheme or under which head can they acquire this loan?
they can apply through Mudra scheme.
Okay. Okay,
Under
sir.
the Mudra scheme, they can apply, and when they apply in the Mudra scheme, they can get the loan through Kishore, and Tarun.
Okay.
So the Shishu scheme provides 50,000 rupees loan. Kishore provides 50,000 to 5 lakh, and Tarun provides 5 lakh to 10 lakh. So how to avail it? Get the quotation from the vendors. That is the business plan. What is Mudra is expecting? Do not go to a chartered accountant immediately. They will take the fees.
Yes.
Okay, it is self-explanatory. There is Mudra Mitra. Okay, Mudra Mitra. Okay, mudramitra.com. So go there. You apply through online format. So you have to upload the quotation that you have got from the vendor. 3 bankers it will go. 7 days they have to respond.
Okay.
Like this, 17 crore people have got the benefit under Mudra.
Okay.
And Ilavarasi will definitely get it. Please try to apply.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The next question is what will be the condition of the IT sector again post COVID and employment in relation to the IT sector?
The IT sector has a twofold implication. When I started the session itself, I told the time has come for robotics process, automatic
Yes.
automation, cognitive solutions, and AR, artificial augmented reality, virtual reality. They talk about different jargons, right? Cloud computing. So all this is going to capture our mind. Today, you look at the technology is ruling our life. So even though we may be distanted, physical distancing may apply, but human bonding has not gone because of technology.
Yes,
Human
that's
bonding
right.
has not gone. So IT will take a different turn. Reskilling is the order of the day. Gone are the days where they were learning Java, .NET, and then all programming. So it will get advanced really, and all the people will be digital savvy. So digital transformation areas will have a huge, big picture. And
Yeah.
Abdul Kalam used to talk about user development pyramid, where the technology should be available to a common man. That has come
Yes.
now. That level has come in
Yes.
2020. Now
Yes.
this technology available to a common man, data will be generated. Data analytics will be a big business. So huge opportunities are going to be there in the
Correct.
technology. So
Correct.
yes, the roles in information technology will change. Present jobs will not be available, but if you
Yes.
reskill yourself and learn, continuous learning, definitely you'll be able to get the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's because of the necessity for this IT that we are all able to gather today in this kind of a forum, which otherwise would not have been possible. Or even if it were possible, we wouldn't have made use of the opportunity. So yes, I
Yeah,
completely agree with
definitely.
you.
I appreciate Stella Maris for the willpower to try
Thank you,
this
sir.
initiative.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is Mr. Janaratnam Srinivasan wanted an insight on what is helicopter money.
I think it is an extensive discussion. If I open up the topic, it will be a 1 hour discussion. I'll assure him that through
Okay.
Stella Maris, I'll organize a helicopter money. It's like a macroeconomic model. So
Okay.
you give that money to different stakeholders, and I'll explain that later. Now, definitely reserve. If Jonathan has a question, he has my number. He can just put me a WhatsApp in my convenient time. I'll reply,
Okay, sir.
and you
So
can
the
also
last
give my mail ID at the end. Yeah.
Yes. The last question is Ms. Jaya Jyoti wanted to know the website on which she could collect data about various schemes for MSMEs.
It's
Oh,
unfortunate that in one website you will not get everything. So you
okay.
have to call, you have to come keep attending Stella Maris session. Okay, we will keep organizing. Okay, you have to come here because see, the entire literature of MSM is not been compiled into a single document until now in India. We tried our best. Whenever we wanted to compile, it changes. So
Yes.
it's better to understand industry wise and sector wise. So from the expert like us. But however, Ministry of Finance website, if you go, you will have MSME document, which is about 380 pages. If you go to the Tamil Nadu government website, only 5 states have Department of MSME. One of the state is Tamil Nadu. So you can go to
Okay.
the Tamil Nadu website, download that MSME scheme, and you will be able to get it.
Great. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. With that, we come to a
And you
close
can
with
post my mail ID now, ca.satyakumar@gmail.com. You can
yes.
type it out and then they can look at it.
Yes.
ca.satyakumar@gmail.com.
Yes. So we'll also put it up in the comment section for them
Yeah.
to refer to it later.
So yeah,
So
thank all the professors. Welcome to call me and interact with me. If they want to do research, I'm there to support them. I will get a due recognition from the government. When they give a research report, I'll submit to the Prime Minister office, including to the Niti Aayog officials. If their idea clicks, definitely India transforms.
yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, with that, we come to a close with this session. I deem it my pleasure in thanking Mr. Satya Kumar, who graciously took time off to give our participants a whole idea and a detailed overview on the MSME reforms. I would also like to thank our principal, Dr. Sister Rosie Joseph, our Dean of Commerce and Business Studies, Dr. Lima Francis, the management and the faculty of the Department of Commerce shift to Stella Maris College. I would also like to thank you, dear participants, for being with us today and taking part in this session. We hope we have answered all your questions and we hope that this has been a useful session. Just a gentle reminder, dear participants, the feedback and the certificate link is available in the comment section. We will also put it up in the description. For any further queries, Sir has given you his phone number as well as his email ID. If not, you could also reach out to us and we will forward your queries. So with that,
I thank all the members who organized it. Lima ma'am, Dipastri, Ankita, Leelavati, and all the people. I don't know who are the behind the scenes. A great job.
yes.
Appreciate it. Hats off.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you, dear participants. So hopefully we should meet again soon, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Thank you.